lot of people, it's a small
don't
minority.
actually know what they want.
Don't be afraid to walk away from things because your business can't fall to pieces because you want to please somebody else. I think like the main thing is don't overcomplicate it. Offer solutions. I'm big on being solution focused. So offer solutions for yourself and for the landlord. See if that works out. If it doesn't work out, don't take on the property.
I don't know what you're trying to say. I'm trying to help you. But
that kind of location where nobody else would be there.
We were emotional when certain things were going, especially when we was going through the winter period. We had hit our ceiling at that point, and we were like, where else are we going to go? We
want to see other people win. The main thing for us is just working with investors who know exactly what they want and know that they want to make their money work for them. I just think if you really want to unpick the brain of somebody who's going through something, be there to listen and be open-minded. Welcome to the Property Project podcast, where we talk all things property, but also help you to resolve some of the dilemmas that you come up with.
But before you do that, we'd love if you could help us by liking the video, subscribing to our channel so you could get more content from us. I've taken on a property from a landlord that I have a great relationship with. He recently offered me a new property, but it's not the same standard as the ones that he's offered me. I also don't want to take on another property without him having resolved the other issues that are in the current property. How do I raise this with him? I'm scared that I will lose the opportunities with him if I don't take on this property.
So basically this person is saying that the landlord has given them one property before, which they currently have.
Yeah.
They've now offered an additional property because they've been getting on really well.
Yeah.
But the current property that they have is having slight issues.
Few issues going on.
Doesn't sound like anything major, but just things that the landlord maybe isn't taking too seriously or hasn't resolved.
Yeah.
But that they don't feel ready to take on the second property because, all these kind of issues are outstanding. But they're worried that if they turn that property down, it will impact the relationship they have with the landlord, basically.
Well, it also sounds like the second property isn't as nice as the other one.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's not as nice or it's not in a great location. Maybe, I don't know. But it sounds like they said the standard. Okay. So it could
probably
just
not
be
the best spec or...
It's just brought down.
Fair enough. Okay, so I feel like this is a tricky situation to navigate, in all fairness, especially if you are quite new in property and you haven't yet established, I don't know if you're the same, but at the start, you didn't know how to be firm. We had a landlord today and I literally was like, to her on the phone. Like, I was silent because I was like comfortable not having to respond because I now know I have X amount of properties. Yeah. I now know I have X amount of experience. So now I don't need to pander to you.
Yeah.
So it is really difficult to navigate being firm with a landlord, especially one that you like, to be honest, and have a really good relationship with. But in this situation, the only kind of response that I would say is the right response is to be firm in saying, thank you so much for providing me this new opportunity. I feel like it's a really good indication of where we're at in our business partnership. However, I'm a little bit hesitant to take on this second property because of X, Y, and Z that has currently been happening within the property that I have.
Yeah.
And getting their views, because if the landlord, you never know. I feel like don't shut down things straight away. Like where there's issues, what you want to be asking is, can the issues be resolved?
Yeah.
If the issues can be resolved, you might be kind of hindering yourself by not finding out because it might be many reasons they don't like that second property. Is it the fact it's smaller? Is it the fact that it's not a new build? Is it the fact that, the first property you got is a penthouse, and now anything you get after that is not to that standard? Do you know what I mean? It really depends on what the issues are. It doesn't need a lick of paint, because sometimes you walk into somewhere and you're like, this place is hideous.
Yeah.
And then you see someone do it up,
and then all of a sudden
you're in
it's a
shock.
completely different place.
And you feel like they've put in new units and things like that, but it's actually just been a lick of paint.
Yeah.
A couple of bits of furniture being moved around, and it's made the whole place so different.
Couple vibrant colours.
Yeah. So personally, I would say being transparent, because you have a good relationship with the landlord, even more so of a reason to be completely transparent, so that there's no breakdown in communication. Be honest and saying, like, I do like this property that I've got currently. Here are some of the issues that I'm struggling with at the moment, which would stop me or prevent me from getting the next one until these issues are resolved, because it impacts the amount of guests that I can get in my property. And then saying, I would be open to taking on that second property if X, Y, and Z was resolved as well. Or if this property had this, that, and the other. But I feel like don't be afraid to say no if that property is not right for you. Never put yourself in a situation where your business is going to fail just because you wanted to please somebody else. You've got to be honest in that.
I agree.
I don't know if you're
I
the
feel like,
same.
yeah, I do feel like, especially if you've got a good relationship with the landlord, I think just being open and honest, it might bring to light the importance that you, like, you know, the issues that you're having in this current situation,
Yeah.
or this current property. They might not either be aware of it, or if they are aware of it, they don't realize how it's impacting, like, you know, the person who raised this. So again, saying that is that I would love to take on this property, but for X, Y, Z reasons, I don't think I can. And it obviously it's within the landlord's best interest to obviously give you this property, otherwise they wouldn't have done that. They're interested, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in order for them to do that, then most landlords, I don't want to say all or none, most landlords understand that there is a bit of give and take with this.
Yeah.
So in order to get the best situations, you also have to give a little to make those situations happen. And if that means that they have to tend more to this situation that's going on in the current property in order to get the other property rented out because it's not going on the open market, or for whatever reason they're always having certain issues with it, then again, if you've got that relationship with the landlord, then you should be able to, you should be able to work that out, really.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think like the main thing is don't overcomplicate it. Like, get straight to the point. Offer solutions. I'm big on being solution focused. So offer solutions for yourself and for the landlord. See if that works out. If it doesn't work out, don't take on the property. It is a tricky situation to navigate, but it's pretty simple if you apply straight transparency.
And,
I think. Anyway.
And I also think don't be like, as long as you know that there's no malice in your decision.
Be confident.
Be confident in being able to say, you know what, it's not for me. Because I believe that, I guarantee the landlord would respect you more for actually being upfront and open and honest about the fact that you can't take it on, rather than you try to take it on, then complaining about it later, or it's not doing well. It's like, but you should have kind of known that from the beginning. You know what I mean? So again, I'm a big believer in just, there's no right or wrong. Just express how you feel, and as long as there's no malice in how you're feeling, then can't go wrong. To be fair.
This is nice, by the way. This
it is. Of course, this is one of my favorites. One of my favorites. But so,
well, thank you for asking that question, because I'm sure it's a situation that a lot of people are going through, and a lot of people have gone through. I think there's been situations where, the two properties on in Reading, on that island, where the two landlords know each other, and we were recommended the second landlord, and we didn't want to let down the first landlord, because he'd obviously recommended us and kept on recommending us. He actually recommended us to two people, but the second person he recommended us to, the first one we kind of gave in, but the property's actually been really, really good. We haven't experienced winter yet, but we will experience winter. But from where it's going right now, this is not just a summer thing. I can just tell by the prices that we're getting.
It's because our strategy, again, we're onto something else. And we may or may not give that secret away yet. But
I think we still got to test it out.
I think
the main thing is to test it out, and then we can share it. But it seems to be doing really, really well. But then he offered us a second person, or referred us to a second person, and their property was stunning, just in the absolute wrong location. It was like, proper residential, nothing around, like
there's no attractions, there's no business parks,
there's literally nothing,
no hospitals,
nothing. It's very, very, very much so a family kind of professional working. I don't know what you're trying to say. I'm trying to help you, but that kind of location where it's like for professionals and families mainly, like nobody else would be there. Very, very, very residential. And although I really wanted to do it, because it's like, it's nice to be referred to someone and be able to be like, we are the ones who provide solutions to this, this, and this. We couldn't provide the solution that they were looking for. And that was hard, but we had to walk away from it. So basically, don't be afraid to walk away from things, because your business can't fall to pieces because you want to please somebody else and make somebody else happy. You got to make decisions that are right for your business. You're running a business, not a charity, as people like to say. And you've just got to stick with that. So that is the main thing. But I feel like we haven't caught up again for quite a bit of time. So
Yeah.
How's everything been for you, Sean?
Oh gosh.
I don't
Well,
think I
it's
ever
been
call you Sean. Do I ever call you Sean? Barely.
not really.
Barely. I always like cringe when I say your name, to be honest. Because I give you nicknames. I don't think I actually ever say your name fully. Do I say your name?
Not really. It's more nicknames, isn't it? But then when I say your name, it's like you think you're in trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's probably just the way I say it. To be fair.
And you only recently started calling me Sins, I think. Recently. Very rarely. But everyone else calls me Sins or Cinderella.
Yeah.
Everyone else.
But that's the thing. I'm not everyone else.
Oh gosh, okay. This is
not
going
everyone
left.
else.
Not that kind of podcast. Moving on swiftly.
But yeah.
But yeah, how's things been?
I think things have been very positive. Very positive in a way that even things that haven't really gone our way, I don't think we've dwelled on.
Yeah.
And we've just
got
moved
so much
past
better,
it.
haven't we?
We've just moved straight past it. I feel like if you have a look at any of our other episodes,
Emotional.
and we were emotional when certain things were going on, especially when we was going through the winter period. And it was at the beginning of January, and we just didn't know. There was like we had hit our ceiling at that point, and we were like, where else are we gonna go?
Yeah.
But I think now, especially after, like, I don't know, the next steps that we took paved the way for where we really, or solidified where we really want to be or where we want to go.
Yeah.
And in order to get there, we knew that we can't be doing this emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
We can't be in our feelings a lot. We have to be solution focused, think about, things logically. Don't get me wrong, emotional intelligence comes into play when we're talking with people, because it is a people business. But when you're making decisions and everything like that, you have to be logically thinking and
A whole logically thinking.
I'm just doing my own thing really. But you have to be logical, and it's just like I think we're able to just move past things now.
I think you definitely have. My gosh. I still keep asking you, are you overwhelmed? Are you overwhelmed? Have you noticed that? You be like, no, I'm fine. No, you've done really well. I think I'm still learning to not take things personally. That's really hard for me. And I think the reason is because I read into people's like cues, like behavioral cues way too much, which then leads to me assuming. So if you're going to tell me off if I try to use this example. But I just like to be honest. No, it's not you. It's just a current situation that's happening.
Just don't name drop, fam. That's it.
I know, but it's a really bait situation. So it's like it could only be two people in this situation. Okay, I'm going to try and smooth it out. So basically, if we're given an opportunity to work with someone, but there's somebody else in the mix of that situation who could basically rule yes or no whether we're supposed to be the people to work with, I do take things like that quite personally. But I do understand that person will have the other person's interest at heart, but I still take it. But like, especially if you know us as people, the thing for me, what I find really hard is that I feel like we're really good people. I feel like we love other people. We want to see other people win. But as soon as I feel like our space is crossed, I feel like I'm very protective of our space. And as soon as someone does something that resembles like jealousy or sabotage or them kind of things, them nasty type of traits, I feel like that tips me over the edge, and I will instantly not like you.
But
I will instantly not want to be a part of your situation. And sometimes I have to not assume that that's what people are doing, and understand that people are human, and that people will react the way they want to react.
Give them the benefit of the doubt, because again, when they're making certain decisions, who's to say that you even cross their mind at all?
I should.
In that, no. But
I actually have to work on my narcissism.
Yeah, we had this chat because like you think that... I'm not afraid
to say that.
You think that
the world revolves around me. I know it does. But
I'm so sorry, but it doesn't.
It does, but not in a way. Let's clarify.
So ever since I've known you, you've basically been like Princess Cindy, like,
but let's be careful here, because I'm very low maintenance. Let's be real.
It's not about the maintenance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So clarify. When I say I think everything's about me, it actually tends to be in quite a negative way. So I'll either think people are talking about me. Like I have severe paranoia. And no, I don't smoke the cannabis.
The ganja.
The ganja. I don't smoke it, but I'm naturally just paranoid all the time. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like,
but with that though, is it not draining?
No, of course it is. I always tell you, if I'm going into a room, I am prepared for the exits. You are not going to do anything to me. You're not going to get away with doing anything to me. I'm prepared for situations like that, but overly prepared, so much so that I don't sleep through the night. So it is slightly crazy,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. It's important for you to clarify what it means by the world doesn't evolve around me, because it's not about like if I'm on the train, like I won't give up my seat to someone, or like I feel like I'm naturally a very selfless human,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
makes me very narcissistic, because when you're overly selfless, you're constantly thinking of pleasing other people,
Yeah.
but by pleasing other people, you're thinking about yourself in the situation to please others. So you're not kind of stepping out of that situation to like actually let it truly be for somebody else.
But it depends though, because I feel like I used to kind of think like that, but then I think where it switched for me was when, because I went through a period where I was not in a great place with a lot of my friends, and
Loser. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
but again, I say not in a great place with any, like a lot of my friends, but they
Dump
wouldn't.
you.
They would no, but they wouldn't know because I was
didn't
in my
evoke
head
them.
so much, and I
Okay.
felt like I went through a period where I felt like everything that they were doing that I didn't like, they were doing on purpose. But then when I stepped back and realized that no, they're just doing what
Them.
they're just doing them and doing what they want to do, and it's not to upset me or anything like that. I realized that, you know what, not everything is about me, and when they do whatever decision that I do or don't like, it's not in any malice.
It's
I
just the way in
don't
which they operate.
just move past it. I might not like it, but it's not, again, it's not my decision. It's
Yeah.
then my decision to decide whether I want that to determine how I'm gonna go past that point
Yeah.
or not. Do you know what I mean?
I get it. I do get it. I'm someone who's very open in saying I do display not narcissistic traits in like an evil way, but I do
No.
think a lot of situations I'm
I
the
wouldn't say,
center of.
as a joke, I would say narcissistic.
Yeah, but
I don't
you
think
get what.
narcissist is more selfish than
But
anything.
I feel like being real and being like realistic in the world. If you do think every situation is about you, or people are talking about you, or you have like severe paranoia and you think literally everything is about you, there are narcissistic traits in that,
But that's
which
also,
I'm trying to change and
but
learn.
if you think that, like, again, obviously, like, you know, like schizophrenia and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Where we going with this?
No, I was,
Where are we going with this?
I was saying that a lot of the time they hear voices that they think people on the street are looking at them or talking about them or anything like that.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean
Trying to find the link.
I'm saying let me learn.
trying to find
I'm not calling you but what I'm saying is that just because you think people are talking about you or anything like that, I don't think it's a selfish thing. I think it's just something that you have to, with them, they have to tune their mind in order to be able to survive throughout the day. Do you know what I mean? So with you, I feel like you just need to tune your way of thinking when those type of situations happen, and you'll be able to
challenge the bad thoughts, basically.
challenge the bad thoughts.
Yeah, I
basically.
get it.
Do you know what I mean? Because
I do get
sometimes
it.
when those things do happen, and I do see them happen, and I notice that you pick up that I haven't really reacted, and I'm not trying to feed into it. Do you know?
What is this?
I'm saying
What's going on here?
no, because I feel like if I don't feed into it, you
sad.
realize that it's not that deep,
It is that deep.
and
Sorry.
then you,
I'm working on it.
if I don't feed into
Took me a
it,
while.
then you realize after a while that it's not that deep because I haven't reacted to it, and you think, oh, okay, maybe it must just be me.
I think it's something I'm working on. I think let's go with that. Something I'm working on.
Sophia will.
I'm going to be better with it. I'm going to try. I feel
Yeah.
like I've gotten better.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I feel like ultimately it comes down to if I feel a sense of injustice and I need to protect that space, I'm going to protect it regardless of what is at loss or what is at risk of losing
But that doesn't,
in that moment.
yeah. But that
I could lose
also
my
doesn't
job
mean
because I
that.
feel like if injustice is happening, I'm going to speak.
But that also doesn't mean that if a said person has done something in the situation and you've reacted like that and I haven't, doesn't mean that I have said like, oh, like I've forgiven and forgotten. Do you know what I mean?
No,
I
I
understand
understand
and
that.
I've noted that.
Yeah.
And then I start to look for patterns of behavior, because then if it's something that's just happened once and it's like, it's out of
But
character.
for me, it's not happened once. But again, I'm assuming in that situation that person has gone out of their way to be like that. So I've got to learn that no matter how many times someone does something, first of all, that's their choice to behave in that way. And second of all, it's my choice to decide whether to react to it or
So
not.
let me ask you a question then. So how many times have you given advice to someone who's been in a sticky situation and you've given genuine advice?
I do that all the time.
Exactly. So let's say that genuine advice that you've given has meant that person that you gave the advice to has gone to the other person or gone to someone else who They might have let you know about that person or not, but and then like maybe decided to cut ties or whatever.
Sorry, you lost me. Go
So
again.
basically, all right. How do I?
No, say it again. I came in
You're-
and out. Yeah.
So
Go.
basically, when you've given that bit of advice,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of where I lost you.
No, just say it all again.
Yeah. So when you've given people your genuine advice when they've come to you about a situation that they're not happy with.
Mm-hmm.
So when that's happened and you've given them the advice, say with that advice they've gone to, say they weren't happy with management for whatever reason, and you've given your honest opinion, like you are not on any side, that person's gone to whoever the management company is and fired them.
Yeah, no,
Right?
I know that's exactly the situation I was thinking of.
Yeah. So then
I was
imagine.
thinking
So
of
imagine
that,
if
and
that.
then the flip
imagine
reverse
if-
of those two
yeah,
situations.
because that person's now gonna think, especially if that other person came to them and said,
said,
oh,
Cindy
I've been speaking.
But
to
my
someone else, or I've
main
been
line
speaking to
was
Cindy.
I know those guys that you're referring to.
Mm.
However, take them out of it because I'm not going to comment on them. So
Mm.
I'm not. But again, no one, like you said, they wouldn't be able to see that behind the scenes. Do you get what I mean? So if someone
But
comes
I'm
to
not
me with
even
advice
I'm just
about
talking
that.
about in general.
No, but I'm agreeing with you that that's exactly it. I can't be sure that somebody else's actions behind the scenes is led by maliciousness.
Yeah.
I can only, that's me assuming. You can't assume things in this life because you
Yeah.
never know. You're never going to be in someone's head. You're never going to understand their situations or why they've made certain moves, which is what I'm starting to understand and learn. But it is very difficult when you've obviously been doing that all your life. But I'm also a big believer of like in your adult years, you can't keep saying I was impacted by this because of my childhood. Like it gets boring. I'm going to become one of them, like, you know, the I shouldn't say Molly Maker, she's going through a tough time. I stand with you, Molly. But you know, like when they're like, you've got the same 24 hours as Beyonce.
Yeah.
But it does sometimes, I'm not saying that, but I do feel like you can't use childhood as an excuse all the time if you're not willing to make the changes.
So where are you saying? What are you saying?
I'm saying this in relation to, I'm aware that it's going to take me a lot of time to change that thinking because that's something that I've been thinking like as a
to
child.
reverse engineer it.
Yeah,
just
but
kind
at
of
the
get
same
out of
time,
it.
it's not an excuse because I'm now an adult.
Yeah.
But I think we'll learn. We'll learn. We kind of digressed into that, but I guess life has been good, is what you were saying.
Yeah, life has been good. I think we've been, and even when it hasn't been, we've been able to see the brighter side of things. And I'm just excited for the way things are moving.
Yeah.
I'm very
You can
excited.
smile. I know you're trying not to. You can smile. They won't know from the smile. We're very big on like not sharing things until things are done.
Yeah.
And I think we used to do that at the start and be like, we're doing this, and then it would fall through, and then we'd have to go silent.
Yeah.
But also be in mind again. See, the crazy in me is like people pray against you.
But I guess I think that is a thing.
There's evil eye.
That is a thing though, because I feel like, you know, if you say what you're doing as it's going through the process, people can not even just speak negative words out there, but think negative thoughts. And I think, words and thoughts are powerful. Do you know what I mean? So
I agree. But yeah,
if we don't tell you what we're doing, then and only reveal it once it's done, it's too late. It's too late
for you to meddle in it.
The ship's docked. Do you know what I mean?
The ship's who?
Don't worry, it's okay.
What did you say?
The ship has docked. Do you know what that means?
Left the town?
No. The opposite.
It's been sat.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's sat.
Wow.
Anyway, how about you? For you?
Yeah.
I know it's,
do you know what? I feel like positivity has like lived through us these last few months, and we could have been caught last month where we realized we kind of, for the first 6 months of the year, I think, or 5.5 months of the year, everything was going so well. Then the 6th month kind of came and we were like, what are we doing? Like, we're not hitting our targets. And then we just pulled ourselves back in.
Yeah.
And I think usually we'd kind of sit in it and be off for like 4 months until we realized we've got 2 months to the end of the year. And like, what should we do now? So I was just really
picked ourselves back up.
and I'm very proud of that. I think we're really learning how to have a billionaire mindset in terms of like making sure that we don't sit in things too long because it prevents you from getting on to the next thing, which could be your big break. So yeah, I think it's been a really good few months for us, and I'm very excited for the end of the year because I know we're being tough on ourselves with the goals, and it's all going to pay off. It's all going to pay off.
We've got a number of things that are in the pipeline and working at the moment, and as soon as they're finished, we will share them. But just for now,
you're not getting it.
Nah.
Just a slight indication though with like BRR, because we've kind of put in a little bit of gems here, a little bit of things here and
Yeah.
there. But we won't give like full details again to get away from the evil eye. But also that journey has been going pretty well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
quite exciting. I think the main thing for us is just working with investors who know exactly what they want and know that they want to make their money work for them.
Yeah.
Do you know what's kind of been annoying me about that? Is like, and I know it comes with part of educating people and providing knowledge and providing the time that maybe other people might not have. But I love people who are sure of what they want to do.
Yeah.
And the people who are like back and forth, or you've asked me for my expertise and then want to tell me about my expert opinion.
Yeah.
I find that really difficult.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. Again, it could be narcissism. Who knows?
No, but I do get it. It's annoying because it's like, if you feel
It's a
like you
waste
can
of
tell
time.
me, then it's like,
It's a waste
what
of time.
are we doing here?
Yeah, literally. If you knew that before, and if you thought this way before,
Yeah.
I mean,
You could
some
have saved
people would
us
say,
both a lot of times.
yeah, some people would say like, obviously the sales skills for me might not be strong enough, which is why people are staying, or some people are staying within that same mindset or thought process. But I would say I'm also not here to sell you on something that I know works already.
Yeah.
Because you should be sold.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to ever sell someone who is uncertain. I only will sell to people. We will only sell to people who know exactly what they want to achieve. I like to work with someone who's direct and understands their own goals, so that I can just be the link in between to get them from their goals to the actual achieving the goal itself.
But that's a lot of people. That
is a lot of people. It's a small
don't
minority.
actually know what they want, or even if they do know what they want, it sounds harsh, but they lack the integrity to get themselves to that point. Do you know what I mean? Because I think that's just a human trait anyway, for all of us to kind of lack integrity to a certain extent. Otherwise, we would all just get up and do exactly what we said we was going to do. But because a lot of people don't realize it, again, when you can see, if you're speaking to someone and you can see exactly what they need, it's difficult to tell them that that's what they need because they can't see it themselves. Again, with other people, like with friends, family, just people that you speak to at work, sometimes trying to speak to people about certain things that you can see that they need, but they don't understand it. Sometimes you're thinking, why am I wasting my breath?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
I do get it.
Yeah, but I do get that. It's jarring.
Yeah, but it's not
annoying.
everyone by any means. It's like, you know, I can tell it's people who have already got money behind them, or people who naturally grew up quite smart.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cocky with the smart. Like, if I'm telling you, yes, this is the type of investment strategy that's going to work for you.
Yeah.
And you're telling me, and you asked for that strategy, to be honest. And then you're telling me, well, this is not gonna work for me because I've done research on this, and the Google research and matter of fact, what actually happened, and reality are two different things. You can't tell me you've done a Google search on what the best way to invest your money is, and I'm telling you I'm living it. I've literally failed 1,000 times and succeeded 1,000 times. So it's like, how can you not listen to the person who has gone through the journey, but you want to prioritize Google or something you've seen on someone's social media? That's not real. I'm so sorry. It's not even. In all honesty, not saying what we put out is not real, because I think that's our unique
thing,
selling
like,
point, should I say, is that we're overly honest about what's going on. But at the same time, I do feel like you still don't know. I could post a booking that I got that was 15k, and then not this booking does exist, by the way, but if we had a cancellation, you guys wouldn't know we had a cancellation, because why would I say? So it's things like that you've got to be mindful of. That, I just think, if you really want to unpick the brain of somebody who's going through something, be there to listen and be open-minded. That's the issue. They come not open-minded. They come to challenge me. And I don't really care for that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really care. But apart from that, it's been very good. It's been really good. And I think that we're on route.
The straight and narrow.
We've always been on the straight and narrow. We're not
sorry.
crooked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
you were at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Imagine.
Yeah.
The beginning of the year. I always talk about that video where I literally just finished crying, and then was like, "What do I do with myself?" And then I kind of went on social media and was just like, "This year, the start of this year has been ridiculous."
You went on a rant.
And I was like, I don't see us saving this year. Like, I don't know how things are going to change. Like, we were on the verge of quitting. And when I say to people, because I've been posting recently about, like, excuses can't live with success and success can't live with excuses,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And it's not to offend anyone by any means, but like speaking from somebody who makes excuses, and when I make excuses, nothing ever happens, to somebody to like moments where when I don't make the excuse, I just be like, well, it's got to be done,
Yeah,
and I've got to find a way
yeah,
to do it. I just have to
yeah.
be solution focused, and it works out.
Yeah.
Like, I always feel bad because it's like, obviously people have not been able to run their service accommodation business because they've had to either close it or it's just not going well, or like family situations have come up and it means that they've had to divert their attention. And
Yeah.
like, I get that, and I'm not speaking about those people who have tried and tested and it's just not worked out for them, but people who are like, I really want to run a service accommodation business but don't want to pay for a mentor. Like, okay, then you don't want to pay for success, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. You want the success without
The hard work
and
the
it's
commitment.
Like
You can't do both.
You can't do both. Like you have to invest in yourself and obviously do the research to make sure it goes, or to put yourself in the best position for it to go well.
Yeah.
Like if you don't do that, then you can't blame whatever happens next.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
Do you miss Portugal? Sorry, do you miss Portugal?
I do.
I miss it so much, you know.
I do.
I feel like that's
you know
one
what?
of the
I think
best...
we'll talk about it now.
Yeah.
Next one, actually.
Yeah. I think it was one of our best holidays, to be honest. No?
I'd say
Do you not think?
in the new age.
Oh, I don't know what that means. That's code. I don't even know what's new age. Was you in the old age?
No, but I feel like before, again, I think since we've been, I'd say the new age is since we started our property journey.
We're looking forward to Mauritius, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I jumped again.
You jumped.
It's the ADHD.
You jumped. But
Help me out.
what's the most exciting thing that you're looking forward to?
Going to Mauritius.
No, for the end of the year.
Mauritius.
Going to Mauritius. Okay. No.
Going to Mauritius.
I would say that's definitely up there, going to Mauritius. But I would say, I want to say New Year's. I feel like
It's not this year, so that's cheating.
New Year's Eve.
New Year's, though, you said. New Year is next year.
Exactly, but I said the end of the year.
So then
though.
you're excited for New Year's Eve.
I'm excited to see the progress of this year.
And New Year's Eve.
That's what I just said. Anyway, yeah. So that's the end of that. And how do we end these?
Oh, is it finished? Is time
Yes,
gone?
it's finished. I could tell that you didn't understand that it was finished.
Oh, no, we've done well. 31 minutes. Oh, I can see the time there without my glasses. That's good.
Oh, gosh. Anyway.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, what were you saying? Because now I've lost myself.
No, we're finishing.
Okay, we're done.
Thank you for watching to the end, guys. We really appreciate it. As a little thank you gift to you, we'd like to give you an invite to join our free WhatsApp community where we drop a lot of gems.
If you're still watching, then thank you so much. But more importantly, if you could like and subscribe to this channel to help us bring you more content that we know you'll just love.